Welcome to episode 14 of Oakhill with me, Farm Sim Snowy. Welcome back everybody to Oakhill. I'm just giving our tractor a little bit of a clean off because it hasn't been done for a little while and it needs some fuel, so we'll fuel that up as well. That's already looking better. Since the last episode I managed to sort out the situation with the chicken feed, their mess that they made, and it was because we didn't own the land, which I thought was a bit odd because obviously it allowed us to put chickens in there and I just automatically assumed that we'd still be able to clean them up. So what I did, which isn't ideal, I took out a bank loan, bought that land. Let's just show you on here. Bought the land, which was worth 309,000. Obviously we can't afford that at all, so I bought the land, cleaned them up, which it allowed me to do with the skid steer, sold the land back, paid the loan off. So we're back down to where we were in terms of money at the end of the last episode, although it has gone down a slight amount because I repaired the fertilizer spreader because that was getting a little bit ropey. So that is what I had to do, which, like I said, isn't ideal. Whether I have to do that every time we want to clean the chickens, I'm not sure. And obviously it wouldn't let me use the landscaping tool because again we didn't own that land. Or what I could do, I'll have a little think about it, is just buy that land, that plot, which comes with 82 fields, 82 and 103, but just not touch those fields because technically they will not be ours. But it just means that we can clean the chickens up as per normal. So if I did buy it, we wouldn't use those fields, so it's not classed as sort of cheating, you know, we don't own them, blah blah blah. So that is where we are at. So let's get some fuel and we're gonna straight away, is that filling up? Yes. How much is this gonna cost us? £122. So I don't need our front weight because what we're going to do is plant a new crop in our 3 fields that we have here harvested, so 29, 30 and 32. And what I'm thinking is we're going to do sunflowers in all 3 of those. So we need to get a planter. Now that's not the right menu. I'd really like to use the Junkara again, which we used before, but that is a seeder. And if we go into there, it is somewhere here. There it is. As you can see down the bottom, it does not do sunflowers like most seeders won't. There is some modded in things that will do all crop types, like this one here on the end, but obviously that is ridiculously expensive. And our tractor would not even be able to pull that out the yard, I would imagine. So we're going to ignore that. But I've found a planter, which is a direct drill. It folds up, and when it unfolds, it is 11 meters wide, which is going to be quicker for us. Like I said, direct drill, seeds and fertilizer. It will do our sunflowers. And it only requires 190 horsepower. Now our tractor's 185, so that should cope with that. So we're going to lease one of these. Now we've got a few configurations on here. So you've got liquid fertilizer, and that's going to be herbicide, I believe. So what we want is solid fertilizer, so I think we need this configuration. And then we're going to go for a rather funky jazzy setup. I know we're not a million miles away from our farm, but it will just save us having to go backwards and forwards, because although this is a good planter for us right now, it's not got a very big capacity in terms of seed and fertilizer, because that's going to be split, you know, it says 1181, so it's going to be split between the two, so it's not going to go very far, and two of those fields we're doing are fairly big. So I'm going to go with a trailer hitch, which puts obviously a trailer hitch on the back of this. We'll keep everything else the same. Now it is going to cost us 3,250 initial leasing. Hopefully we won't go over an extra hour of doing that. We should get both fields done in an hour, so we're going to lease that. And then in here we're going to lease the extra tank, which we could hook up to the front of the tractor, so that is going to have extra seed in it. So we'll lease that, only £408 to lease. And then we are going to lease to go onto the back of the trailer hitch. So like I say, it's going to be a funky little setup. We've got this box refill trailer, quite cheap to buy anyway, but we're not going to buy it. But it will hold all those things down the bottom: seeds, solid fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, blah blah blah. So we're going to lease that, and that will hold 4,000 litres, and that is going to be filled with solid fertilizer. So we're going to lease that, only 765 to lease. We'll keep the colour the same, not interested in that. So we'll go up to the shop and we'll get all those items connected up, bring them back down to our farm. And we have got some seed and fertilizer in that shed, which I did forget about last time, but now we've got that multi-silo. That's cheap as chips, so it's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is fill up the additional tank and that trailer with what we've got under the shed, because I'm worried that the planter, even folded up, isn't going to fit in there, or if it does fit in there, it's going to be very awkward to get in and out. We'll just fill that up from our silo, and it might be easier to do them all sort of individually, if that makes sense, so that we haven't got everything hooked up and it's going to be a little bit fiddly. So we'll get up into the shop. Now also, while we're at the shop, actually I've just remembered, let's come out like that. On Mod Hub, you know, I said before this is supposed to be a Fendt and Massey Ferguson dealership, but even though we've got a class harvester over there, there's not really anything to show that it is actually that sort of dealership. It's pretty bare, there's nothing here. But on Mod Hub, there was the other day released a sign which I think is quite cool. Now first of all, when it come out, I thought, oh yeah, that'd be good for the shop on Oakhill. But then I was worried, well, we're going to have to own the land again, so I was a little bit concerned we wouldn't be able to do it. But I did notice, and I forgot this from my original map tour, if we click on the areas where the sell points and shop etc is, we can actually buy that land and all the roads for £0. Now, apart from what we're going to do now, it's not really going to be of any use to us. I mean, there's a few trees up here, but they're not very nice trees, so I'm not going to use anything else. So these little areas here, I'm not going to do anything different with it. I'm not going to suddenly come along and try and mow some grass here and there, you know. I'm not going to sort of cheat like that. I'm solely buying this area to do what I want to do now, just because I think it's a little bit fun and a little bit quirky. So we will buy that land, and then in the Mod Hub, I think it was under decoration, was this fella. As you can see, Massey Ferguson, Fent, also Voucher and Challenger. So yeah, it's going to cost us 1,200. There's only 2 slots. I just thought it might be fun to put this in the shop somewhere. What's that saying? Objects cannot be placed in load areas. Right, okay. What about if we put it, I presume that is going to be the way the posters face. Yeah, that looks pretty blank there. So what about here at the very entrance? I know there's another entrance exit over there, but I would sort of class this as the main entrance exit, like so. What about if we do that? Here we go. How cool's that? Glad I got that round the right way. So now it looks a little bit more like a proper dealership. Right, that is enough fun and games there. Let's hook up to our new little system we're going to have going. So if we get the front tank on first. Now I've no idea what this is going to turn out like. It could be a complete disaster. I'm just assuming it's going to work. And one thing I didn't even think about is I think that is a pin hitch on the back of there, and that trailer is a ball hitch, so that's probably not going to work, is it? Oh! Oh yes it does. Okay, that looks a little bit odd like that, but I think when we lower the planter down it will lower that trailer back down. Right, so let's get back to the farm and load all this up. It looks very odd setup, doesn't it? It looks like some sort of weird camping expedition. Right, I'll get down to the farm and I'll bring you guys back in and we'll start filling all these up. Hopefully that should give us a nice amount. Right, here we are. We only just fitted through that gate there, which was a bit funny. So what I'll do is let's go and get this cedar planter filled up first. So hopefully it should allow us to put seeds and fertilizer in. He says. I've had this before where it allows you to do these seeds, but it's a bit, yeah, I don't think it's going to let me do the fertilizer. Right, that's okay, we can fill that up from one of these over here. See, that is definitely not going to fit in there, is it? Or is it? Let's just try. If you don't try, you don't know, do you? That is very tight though. I think it's just that little bit too wide, isn't it? Oh, I thought I had it then. Right, let's forget that before we trash the place. So let's put that down there. Now the front tank, let's fill that up. We want seeds in there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Please take seeds and not fertilizer. Excellent. And we will need to top that up in the silo, from the silo. Now we want the box trailer. I know you're probably thinking, is this really worth it? Probably not, but I just thought it might be a little bit fun to do something different and have a system going like this. It's not ideal, I suppose, but it's a little bit quirky. So that's filling the trailer up, which is good. Right up into here. We'll get that 100% filled. That should be 4,000 litres then. There we go. Now hopefully, if we drop that down there, hook that up, hook that up to there. Hopefully this will allow us to take some fertiliser from the box trailer, like so. That is cool. Now I want to close the lids. Now we can top up the seed tank and the box trailer, so we should be 100% full on everything. So let's open that cover, seeds into there, so 100% full on that. And then we need to get this trailer underneath. So we have got quite a lot now on us to do this job. Why is it not letting me get near that? Are we near enough? Nope. Right, so it's not going to let me. We're over that enough, aren't we? Ah. No, that's not going to work either, I don't think. I'll try one last time. If not, we've got 88% of fertiliser. I should imagine that is going to be enough for us. Come on, please work. I was really excited that this is going to work. It's not going to, is it? It's just hitting that side. Right, I don't think that's going to work. But we have got that's all filled up. So we've got quite a lot there. So let's make our way up to one of the fields. This is probably going to struggle. Again, you know, I'm not sure how well this is going to work. Because obviously we've got quite a bit of extra weight now. At the end of the day, if it doesn't work, we'll just detach the trailer on the back. And we can use that still as a refill point. Just leave it out on one of the fields, so that is going to be absolutely fine. Let's get this unfolded. not actually used this planter before. I've literally just downloaded it before I came onto here. So I am hoping it all works. We've got quite a bit of a slope there on this field, so that is going to be interesting to see how that pans out. So we'll switch over to sunflowers. Seeders on, lower that down, that drops that trailer down, which is good. And away we go. It's going quite fast. Now, where are we? So we've got sunflowers going in, growing and fertilised, first stage. So all looking good so far. We just need to see how we cope. I think something loaded up then automatically. Did you see that? The covers opened automatically. I didn't do that. This is the bit where we could struggle with our little Massey. Come on girl, you can do it. I know you can do it. Look at that for a setup. The wheels are spinning a little bit. Alright, so we just missed a little bit there. So not too bad, that coped pretty well actually. We'll go square off there, like so. I don't know why the covers keep opening, but that's not a problem. But it's all working. Fantastic. As you can see, what a setup. Well, I will carry on. I will probably get all 3 fields done and then I will bring you back in, because it's going to take me a little while. Even with 11 meters wide, it's still going to take a little while. And if I do need to top up with anything, I will do that as we're going. I think it's topping itself up every now and then. You can just sort of hear it filling up. But yeah, I'll crack on with this and I'll see you shortly, guys. This is the last little bit left on the final field. We'll get this done and I'll show you that everything is hunky-dory. Must say, I've been well impressed with this little setup. It refills itself as you sort of turn around, because it gets close to that trailer at the back, I think. But yeah, it's been really good. It's worked really well, and like I said earlier, I know we're not a million miles from our farm, but it would have just saved us going backwards and forwards. So we'll turn that off and fold it back up. Let's have a look on our map. There you go, 29, 30, 32 with sunflowers currently growing. These fields are in their last state of growth, which is good. Hopefully soon they'll be ready to harvest, and as you can see, they've got their first stage of fertilizer on, which is all well and good. So we have got quite a bit left still. I've no idea what's left in what, so I think we'll get down to the farm and try and unload this. Hopefully we shouldn't have too much of a nightmare with that. And then yeah, we'll move on. I think we're gonna have to go down and check in on Jack's cows because we haven't done that in a while. So they're probably... Whoa there, what was that? I'm guessing it's a bit too wide for here. Right, let's go a bit steady. We should be okay now. I think it was just those two trees that slightly overhang. So let's go a bit steady. As I was saying, Jack's cows, yes, we're probably going to need to clean them up. They're probably going to have some manure there to clean up. You can see how tight this is going to be through this gate. Look, we only just sort of clear it. Right, let's see if we can unload from here. Oh nice, that's unloading from there. That's brilliant. Not enough space to unload. We've had that sign before, which is annoying. That's going to do that again, isn't it? Right, what have we got left in there? We've still got some fertiliser left in there. I'm guessing that trailer is now empty. So can we unload this into there maybe? No. What about that? Right, we've got the seeds unloaded. I think it's just an issue with these, some of these seeders and planters. I mean, to be fair, we've got enough room, haven't we? It's just being ridiculous. Right, well, I'm not too worried. It's only 469 litres of fertiliser. So we'll leave that there. I will off-hire that later. All the time we're not using it, we won't be getting charged for the lease of it. We're going to jump in the Land Rover, head down to Jack's yard, and we'll see what mess the cows are in. They should be okay, to be fair. And I think he has actually gained a cow since we started looking after him. So if we go in here, we've gained 6 chickens, yeah, and Jack's got 1 cow. So there you go, 21 cows now. And then, like I said previous episode, once we've cleaned up the cows and sorted them out, it looks like they need a little bit more TMR, which is in the mixer down there in Jack's yard. I'm gonna drive down to the chickens and we'll grab a box of eggs, like I said, and we're gonna bring them back up to Jack. We'll call in and check on him, tell him that everything's okay on his farm. The cows are all well and good, and we'll give him his eggs. I'm sure he will appreciate that. He's done quite a lot for me, so since I've been here, and apart from Gary, really, he's been my only sort of friend, you know, I've got or I've made. I know we've got Lee up at the shop, but in terms of making new friends, it's literally just been Jack. So let's not beat around the bush. I'll get in here we will, what will we do? Let's, this has got a, oh, the weights on it, isn't it? Right, this needs to come out anyway because this is going to need cleaning up. Guessing they've made a mess out front. Right, so there's just this tiny little bit left there, like so. That is then mucked out for a while. Now we're going to sort the feed out. I'm not sure what they're like. Let's have a quick check. They're not too bad for water and straw, so we'll leave that, but we'll just top up the TMR just to get it into the green. Yeah, black and white cows. He's got a right mixture out there. Brown, black. Let's put the little Massey back. Lovely little tractor. Put that down like that. And then we'll get the hurly-whirly, which is in a desperate need of a good wash. That's something I was going to look into for Jack, actually, wasn't it? Getting a jet wash down here for him. Let's zoom out a little bit. Now, hopefully, there we go. Filling up the TMR. Excellent. They will take probably all of this, I would have thought. So that'll be another job, but Jack has got those bells ready to go there for us to make some, which is going to be pretty good. So that's all that gone. Didn't quite get them into the green, but it means they're not going to starve. So we'll pop this back in, and then we'll head on down to our chickens. Let's see if I can actually reverse this thing. Right, something like that. Put this little fella back. Cool beans. All well and good, and we've got our straw bales over there which we can sort out further down the line when they desperately need it. But for now we will go to our chicken farm. Well, I say ours, it's not ours, is it? But we will go and get some eggs. They've made a little bit more of mess there as well, which is gonna need cleaning up. I think we'll just wait until it gets a little bit worse. So we've got 2 boxes of eggs. I'm guessing they're not all full, but I think this one should be, because that would have been the first one that appeared. So we'll grab them. Try not to break them. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. We'll find out. I'm not sure it will. It might do. Then we'll head on up. We'll go and give Jack his his eggs. Sorry, not chickens. He doesn't want to eat them. Right, let's park out here actually. Let's take them off. Engine off. Is he going to let me pick those up? No, yes. Come on. There we go. Right. Let's take Jack his eggs and I will see you in a second. Right. I'm a bit worried. I've been in there quite a while, as you can see. Jack's not feeling very good at all. He won't let me call a doctor or anything. So I'm going to have to keep my eye on him, and I've told him if he needs anything or anything's wrong to give me a call, because I'm only up the road and he hasn't got anyone else. So I've drilled it into his head, please phone me if you need me. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, middle of the night, anything like that. So yeah, I'm a bit concerned. Well, more than a bit. But I've left him. He's okay at the minute, but he just doesn't look right to me, and he doesn't sound right. But I don't know. He's a bit stubborn though, like that. But I'm just gonna have to go with what his wishes are. So I'm not going to call a doctor, but I will keep checking on him. I'm gonna off-hire the stuff we've got left over there. Sorry, I'm a little bit flustered after that going in there. I'll clean all this up. I'll off-hire everything, sort this bit out. I'm probably going to go and take some rest, and I will probably see you shortly, or maybe even tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Well, as you can see guys, it's the middle of the night, just gone 1 AM. Bit of bad news. Jack called me about half an hour ago saying he didn't really feel right, so I've rushed down here. I've called an ambulance. They've just left, taking him off to hospital. So I'm gonna follow in, because obviously Jack hasn't got anyone else. I'm just going to make sure everything's locked up and the house is secure. So I didn't want to leave this episode like that, but we're going to have to call it there for this episode, guys. I'm going to shoot up to the hospital, and fingers crossed, everyone pray for Jack. So I will see you on the next episode.